Hey, what's up everyone? Back for this Friday slate. We're going to look at the 14-game slate for DraftKings in this video. Let's jump right into it. Yesterday, Jonathan Villar had a monster game. That game went 16 innings. Tried to stay up to watch it, but fell asleep in like the 13th inning. So, making this video in the morning, obviously. But Villar had like 38 DraftKings points, a lot low ownership. So he put up like a 157 on DK. Able to cash there. So let's get into it on this slate. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Starting off at pitcher, I really like Zack Cranky today. Cranky's at 10-5 facing the Marlins in Miami. Not only gets a ballpark upgrade, but he gets a tremendous matchup facing a very righty-heavy team. And this season, Cranky has struck out a little bit more righties than lefties. Even though he's given up a little bit more power to righties, I still think that playing this ballpark, he's not going to get crushed by this Marlins team at all. They have had some games where they take out good pitching, but all season it seems like Greinke is so consistent. You see lots of 20s out of him. You don't see a ton of 30s, but on a slate like this where we don't have like another tremendous pitching option, like we have Ryu who's fine, but he's at 11-2 against the Nats. Then you have Lance Lynn who's been pitching really well this season, but still playing at him at 10-8 is not a bargain by any means. I think Greinke gets the best matchup, and he also does have some decent strikeout upside, especially against righties. And then the second pitcher is going to be all the way down here. Your Quiddy is very cheap at 5,000. He had a huge game last start, and they're giving him another chance. So I think he can have probably have another good game. He gets a ton of righties from the Cardinals in this game. Cardinals are very righty heavy. They also have a pretty low total, so you're getting a really good option as an SP2 to pay up for some bats. Who does have a ton of upside as he showed you in his last start, and the Astros are favored here, so that's a good sign whenever your pitcher is favored. So I like him here at 5,000 just to pair with Greinke and give you like a lot of money left to spend on your hitters. So today, the stacks that I'm looking at, I really like the Rays stack. I think Tampa Bay is going to have a really good game. I like the Rays. I like the Yankees, obviously. And I like maybe a couple Angels. But after what Wojciechowski did to the Red Sox, don't know if I'll be full stacking the Angels, but I like a couple Angels. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And I also like the Twins a lot. Yeah, so those are a couple teams I want to stack, and some Dodgers too. At first base, I like $4,000 for Nate Lowe. Is very cheap and affordable here. Lowe hasn't got a lot of playing time because they face a lot of lefties. But when he has had playing time, he's been making the most of it. He's definitely going to get the start here facing a righty. Just has a lot of power, as he showed you in a couple games where he had huge scores, like GBP winning scores. I don't think he's going to be overly popular today, but I just like the matchup facing a pretty bad pitcher in a huge park upgrade. Toronto's been one of the best parks to hit home runs this season. And Lowe definitely has some power. 277 average against righties with 3 home runs and just 65 at-bats. And as you see by the home road splits, he's been much, much better on the road with a 348 average and 46 at-bats compared to just a 184 average at home. So you know how hard it is to hit in Tropicana Fields, and Lowe's been much better. He also strikes out way less against righties and hits the ball pretty hard. Has a 44% fly ball rate against righties with a 42% hard hit rate. And he's also very cheap, so I like Nathaniel Lowe. Next up as shortstop, I will be playing Jorge Polanco. He's very cheap at 4,500 facing Dylan Cease, who hasn't been very great. He hasn't been great since he got called up. He is one of the better prospects, but he hasn't really showed it yet from the White Sox. And Polanco just has been having an incredible season. Ton of power. He definitely has some power, especially against righties. He also has a little bit of stolen base upside. And hitting at top of the order, like hits bat second. Great chance to get on base, get a couple hits. He's been great against right-handed pitching. 325 average with 13 home runs. 13 of 15 home runs have come against righties. He has a 256 ISO and just a 14% K rate. and he has a 41% hard hit rate and a 48% fly ball rate versus righties. Also, with all the expensive guys, we have a shortstop. Polanco makes a great play at like a low in the mid 4Ks. Like you have Tatis, Baez, Didi over 5,000, Bogarts, Torres. You have a ton of expensive guys. You have to scroll pretty far until you get to Polanco's in a really good matchup facing Dylan Cease. And this season, Cease has not been very good. ERA is at 6.19. His strikeouts are decent, but he's still giving up some power with 3 home runs. He's also given up an insane amount of walks, 9 walks in just 16 innings. So Polanco gets on base. We know he has that stolen base upside too. And I just feel like he's going to have a good game. The Twins offense, now that they're finally healthy, like the first couple months of the year, they were going off almost every day. And then they dealt with injuries to like Marwin Gonzalez, Eddie Rosario, and Sano was hurt for a while. But now that they're pretty much all healthy except for Crone, we're seeing the damage that this Twins offense can do. They're going back and scoring runs like they were early this season. So I love the Twins today. In the outfield, we're definitely going to be going with Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge facing Andrew Cashner. The Yankees got embarrassed last start yesterday against the Red Sox. I think they'll bounce back and be a little more focused today. Cashner hasn't been terrible this season, but he hasn't been very good against righties. I'm pretty sure he's reverse splits. Just want to confirm that. So this year he's given up he's held lefties to just a 269 or 289 slugging. Righties have a 514 slugging against him and a 276 average. 13 of 15 home runs have come against righties. And we know all the right-handed power this Yankees team has. So that's where I'm looking at. Right-handed power from this Yankees team. And I don't mind Didi just because he's red hot. But a 5.16 xFIP, just a 15% strikeout rate. Almost a 40% hard hit rate and a 35% fly ball rate. Aaron Judge is just a really good option just because even though he's expensive, we know he's been hitting the ball a lot better this season with a 304 average compared to years past. He still has all that power. He still has that double dong upside. And going cheap with your SP2 and like your Cruddy allows you to pay up for guys like Judge on this slate. And last but not least, I like Tommy Pham. Very cheap at 4,100. Like the Rays, on DraftKings, the Rays are very, very cheap and affordable. So I don't mind doing like the Rays with some Yankee bats in there. But if you look at the prices on the Rays, you get low at just 4,000. You get Choi probably batting leadoff at 3,500. You got Joey Wendell at 2,700. Duffy's only 3,400. I don't really play guys like Duffy just because he doesn't have power, but still, as a part of a stack, I don't mind him. Adames is 31. And then you got Pham at 41, Garcia at 4K, Meadows at 45. All those guys have some power in the outfield, and they're all very cheap. Tommy Pham's been having a great season. 271 average, 16 home runs with 11 stolen bases. This season, Pham has been, I'm pretty sure he's been a little better against right-handed pitching. But just has a lot of power, just a lot of raw power with him. And against righties this season, he's batting 253, so he's actually been a little better against lefties in terms of batting average, but the power is much, much better against right-handed pitching. He has a 143 ISO against lefties, against righties, a 206 ISO, 47% hard hit rate. So I like Tommy Pham. He's also been very good as of late, and Waguespack has been pretty bad against, it's a really small sample size for him, but he's been bad against righties. But I'll still play a guy like Nathaniel Lowe just because the sample size isn't big, but makes for a good play for like Tommy Pham. I like him. It's only a 47 at-bat sample size, but 3 home runs have come against righties from him. 674 slugging given up. 49% hard hit rate to righties so far, and a 38% fly ball rate. We can look at plate IQ a little bit just to show you how well these Rays do hit some of his pitches. So, where is it? So we scroll here, the Rays. He throws his fastball like 40% of the time. 299 ISO for Choi against the fastball. 266 for Meadows. 320 for Lowe. 236 for Pham. All those four look really good. And then he throws his cutter a little bit. Pham has a 250 ISO on that pitch. Choi at 190. Wendell 227. And a slider. And the slider, they hit that pitch well too. Choi doesn't, but Meadows 306. Pham basically hits all of his pitches well. 216 for him. Like Pham here a lot at 4,100. So those are 6 guys that I like. If I'm looking at some other teams, I already mentioned the teams I'm looking to stack. I think the Angels will definitely be popular just because they're high total. Trout's obviously a good play. And I like Upton at 39 just because he's very cheap. Those are 2 I'm looking at. And then if you can get up to Ohtani, I don't mind him. And on the Dodgers, I didn't really mention the Dodgers, but I love the lefties. Sanchez has really struggled against lefties this season, and they have a ton of lefties. They also get a huge park upgrade going into Washington. So I like Peterson, Muncy, Seager, and Bellinger, my favorites. I already talked about all the Rays that I like. On the Yankees, I like Luke Voit at 48, Torres, Didi, Judge, and Hicks. And on the Twins, Nelson Cruz is insanely hot right now. Just want to show you Nelson Cruz is crazy how at this age he's still hitting the ball like he is. But he has now 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 7 home runs in his last 6 games. That is insane. He just had a 3 home run game. He's homered in 4 straight, and during that 4-game stretch, he has 6 home runs. He is a definition of red hot. So if you can get up to him, I don't think he's going to be popular he probably is going to be popular because I have that 3 home run game the day before, but we also have a huge slate today, so I don't think the Twins are a priority stack for a lot of people, so you might get him at a little lower ownership. But that's what I like for this slate. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can like the video if you enjoyed, and good luck.